Good morning from our last morning aboard the Disney Magic. Sad day.
I'm so tired.
Yes. We'll miss these beds very much.
We've just had a lot of nights staying up late and then mornings getting up early.
Yes.
And this one was no different.
Yes. So, officially back in New Orleans this morning. I'm not sure exactly what time we docked, but yeah. And enjoying some Pog Juice mimosas. Since they
to try to kill off the champagne that we have.
Yes, but they also have Pog Juice from the ship, so that's been very nice. But yeah, just kind of hanging out before our breakfast at 8:15, and then we have to debark the ship. So we'll show you our breakfast, and then catch up with you once we are back home, and give you our full review of the Disney Magic. So while packing, we had some of the Pog Juice mimosas, our leftover dessert from Pirate Night, as well as some snacks from Cove Cafe. Then for our actual breakfast, we headed back to Animator's Palette and tried the French toast, which was very good, a brioche toast. And then we both ordered the muesli, which is like an overnight oats type of situation, which was also very good, very refreshing. And then Hannah also ordered a side of fruit. And then after breakfast, it was the sad time of the day to debark the Disney Magic. But don't worry, because we will definitely be back aboard a Disney cruise very soon. Okay, so we are back from our cruise on the Disney Magic. What a lovely little trip that we had. Quick trip to New Orleans and then a 4-night sailing. Overall, love the Magic. It's very nostalgic. And it definitely does not show its age because the ship is 25 years old.
It looked great.
It did. There were some spots where it looked like it could use some love, but...
A few rusty little spots. It's all I noticed.
Right.
Nothing major.
No.
And nothing that looked like a safety concern.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. So, loved the Magic. Loved the small ship aspect to it. Made things close to get to and whatnot.
We also got really lucky with our location for being a guaranteed room. I really thought we were going to be in pretty much the very back of the ship or the front or something. But with our location and the size of the Magic, we could get pretty much anywhere in...
Like 3 minutes.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. And something that we hadn't really experienced that kind of luxury on our other cruises.
Yeah. So for this part of this video, since this was our debarkation video, wanted to just give our thoughts and review of the Magic itself. And then a future video, we will compare the 3 classes of the ship since we've now done each class. That's currently an option. So overall, review the Magic, loved it. As far as like the design of it, very similar to the Fantasy, but the staterooms were a little bit bigger.
I like the stateroom. We had a really hard time finding outlets near the bed.
Yeah.
Somebody we talked to said that they were hidden between something and something else on the nightstand area, and we could not find them.
Yeah, he said if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. So
well, we couldn't find it when we were looking for it. So I guess that's kind of my beef with the stateroom itself. We also had a really fun shower where if someone flushed the toilet, the water in the shower got really, really hot.
And it took a long time to get hot.
Yes.
Otherwise. So, again, showing its age a little bit, and then all of the plastic covers to the light switches and whatnot were pretty yellowed.
A bit yellowed. So, but we know they're going for a dry dock. Dry dock
is April or May of 2023. So
by the time this video comes out,
right, should be just about in dry dock or whatnot. So, yeah.
But definitely looked great. Liked the room. Bed was super comfortable. Pillows were super comfortable. We were happy with our room.
Yes. The dining on the ship was incredible. The food quality was outstanding. I don't know if it's just because it was a smaller ship, so the chefs are cooking for less people. I liked the options as well, especially on the pool deck.
Yes, I loved the pool deck options. On the Fantasy, my afternoon snack was French fries and pickles. And since we were the late dinner, but here on the Magic, we had Daisy's Delights. We had shawarma. We had all sorts of things. We tried the room service, which was probably the least best food that we had on the entire cruise. Mm-hmm. But even with that being said, it was not bad.
Right.
It was just fine. And we were so spoiled with how good everything else was.
Right.
That made it seem not quite as good.
Yeah. Loved having the snacks at Cove Cafe since we didn't have that on the Wish. But use that quite a bit. Get some morning treats. Tried the afternoon treats once too. Get some cheese for the room. As far as the pools go, you can see that Disney has definitely improved on their pool situation.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of kids walking through the adult area.
Right. That was one thing, just in general, the adult area on the Magic was not what we had been accustomed to.
It wasn't really quiet.
On the other ships. And to continue kind of down into the adult area, they had a princess dress store in the middle of the adult area.
It seems weird that they put the princess dress store in the middle of the adult area and the entrance to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique between the adult pool and the Senses Spa.
Yeah. So there were just a couple things that were a little more, not as well thought out, or they hadn't learned that yet because the Magic was the first ship.
Right.
So that wasn't my favorite. But in general, we had a nice relaxing time at the pool. Mm-hmm. We tried the drop slide. My first time on a drop slide.
Mine as well.
His first time.
It was terrifying.
Maybe last time on a drop slide.
It was fun, but it was terrifying.
It wasn't as bad as I expected. I thought it was going to be painful, and it was not through the drop, because I thought it was going to drop you and then smack your back. But so basically, not as bad as I expected, but I'm not gonna run and do it again.
Yeah.
So, but in general, the adult pool was very small.
Yeah. Had some great character interactions too.
Yes.
They kept trying to steal you.
Yeah, characters just wanted to run off with me.
Goofy and Minnie both took you and just kept walking.
Yep.
It was also interesting to see so many Marvel characters offering meet and greets. We only saw one. We only saw Captain
Marvel.
But there was Spider-Man, there was Thor, there was Captain Marvel.
Thor was right before Captain Marvel. So we didn't meet Thor, but we saw Thor.
Yeah.
And previously, we saw Thor
on the Fantasy.
On the Fantasy in the kids' clubs.
Right. These were just out and about.
Yeah, they kind of set up a little area just for them. But with only a teeny tiny Marvel-themed area in the kids' club, I was a little surprised to see so many out and about.
Right. It seems like, because I know in the past they did Marvel Day at Sea on the Magic, and it seems like they might have incorporated a lot of the characters then, and then also incorporated the shawarma by the pool, since that's kind of a vague Easter egg to Marvel. Mm-hmm. And then everything just kind of stuck around. So that was interesting to see, but
I do feel like this was the most relaxed cruise that we have taken.
Yes.
Which I don't know. I don't know if that's the Magic. I don't know if that's me getting better at relaxing, because you're already good at relaxing. But this did seem like the most relaxed we were.
Yeah.
And part of that was because we went to the spa.
This is true.
Which, the spa was very nice, but I don't really know how we can compare it very much to past sailings because we didn't really go. But this cruise, they offered the classes, like the massage class that we did.
They did a makeup class too.
They had a makeup, they did a hair show or class, I don't know. But definitely more going on in the spa on the Magic than we had at least noticed on past cruises.
Right.
And I mean, it was, I think, intended to get you to buy products.
Right.
But still, it was interesting and not something that we had seen before on past sailings.
Yeah.
And speaking of the spa, we really enjoyed our massages.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Definitely helps to have the extra little discount off as well.
Right.
So.
Because we were raffle winners.
Yes.
Both of us.
Which that was interesting on the ship too. It was that they pulled anybody celebrating anything forward for
to give them a chance to win something. So always be celebrating.
Right.
ABCs for your cruise. Always be celebrating.
Yeah. The kind of one big con for this cruise in particular, I don't know if it's the magic or if it's this itinerary, but the motion.
Or our location.
Right, or location. The motion was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Mostly leaving Cozumel.
People said that it was really rough coming into Cozumel, but
We were asleep.
we were not awake for that. So
Yeah, so I don't know if it's Cozumel specifically, if it's the magic, combination of the two, or what.
on our honeymoon cruise, we went to Cozumel, and I had some motion sickness issues that got better once we got away from Cozumel.
Right.
So again, I don't know if we can fault the magic for that or blame Cozumel.
True. Not motion to the point where we were in our rooms the whole day and skipping things as much.
No.
Came close, but
I was really nervous.
Pirate Night after Cozumel, it was like you walked down the hallway and everyone else was kind of like walking zigzag because the ship's rocking so much. So that was rough.
Yeah, had to kind of lay down a little bit.
Yeah.
But not enough that nobody puked.
Right.
So that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I was concerned being on the smaller of the ships this time.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were some motion sickness problems.
Yes. And then to wrap it up with the other kind of big con of the experience, Debarkation.
Mm-hmm.
Now this I will fault, not the magic, this was not the magic's fault by any means. This was New Orleans, the port of New Orleans.
Yes. So the way the port was, you had to get off the ship on deck 4
instead of 3, so you don't have the grand entrance. On embarkation day, you don't have the grand entrance into the atrium like you normally do. You enter the ship on the outside of deck 4, then you walk around, walk inside, and so that was weird.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot of room for people to line up to leave.
Right.
So we were weaving all over, and there were times that we completely stopped too. It took us
an hour and a half.
Yeah.
From the time we got in line to leave the ship to the time that we got through customs. And there were points of that hour and a half where we just stopped for a good 25 minutes or so without moving at all.
And I mean, we chatted with the people around us.
Right.
And had nice conversations, but we were going, what on earth?
Yeah.
We carried our bags off. We just had carry-ons. Since not a long cruise, but the baggage claim area was arguably the hottest mess of the hot messes that morning. And they were trying to make the line a circle, is what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did not know what they were doing. They should have had the little line stanchions all the way through.
To help people understand where to go. Because we were trying to be in line, and there was a lady who was going, ma'am, 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 and I'm going, where do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I will go. I want to leave. Just tell me how to go to get away from this hot mess. Which eventually we emerged.
Yeah.
And then got lucky. Our hotel shuttle was pretty much waiting for us. I think we would definitely, if we were sailing out of New Orleans, do the same park and cruise package that we had.
For sure. I would stay at the hotel again, even though the pillows were not that great.
Maybe bring your own pillow.
Yeah. Or ask for extra pillows to load them up. But yeah, would do that again. It was nice to have the breakfast the morning of.
Right, because embarkation actually took a bit longer to get on board than we expected or had experienced at Port Canaveral.
That might be because it took the cruise before so long to get off like it did for us. So
right. But I think that hotel breakfast saved us and helped us survive until we could scurry over to Cabanas once we made it on board to eat some lunch. Because by then we were very hungry.
And luckily we had the early time. We had a port around kind of 11. We got there about 10:45, so we had like a 15-minute wait. But there was a long line of people that just could not board.
There were people who couldn't board until 3 p.m.
Right.
Who were already just standing outside.
So, not as big of a terminal as Port Canaveral. So, something to keep in mind. If you,
maybe bring some snacks.
Yeah. Plan ahead. If you can accommodate the timing a little bit better, get there kind of closer to your port arrival time. Otherwise, try the best you can to get an early port arrival time, because that means you can always show up later and get in. You cannot show up early and get in.
Right.
So, something to keep in mind.
With all that being said, though, I would still sail out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
I would just understand that it takes a while to get on.
Right.
And it might be a good idea to skip breakfast on the morning of debarkation and just get out the door.
Right.
Before everything gets too crazy and backed up. Because the breakfast was actually better than we've experienced on other ships for debarkation, but I don't know if it was worth it.
Yeah.
To stand for an hour and a half.
But overall, great cruise on Disney Magic. Enjoyed our little 4-night sailing. So next video, next week, will be a tour of the Disney Magic. So stay tuned for that one. But that will do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you real soon.